Looking for a great healthy recipe that has a load of veggies and fish, cod, shrimp, and scallops. Very spicy, very aromatic. Again, but a classic recipe. Well, stay tuned and you will see my rendition of seafood gumbo. EC in the kitchen. Today's recipe, Eric's loaded gumbo. Hi, I'm Eric from the EC in the kitchen, and I have a guest chef today. Guess who? My mom.
Hey!
So Mom and I are making seafood gumbo. We've already started. We did our prepping. Mom was responsible for cutting all the veggies, and I actually cut a few veggies myself, but I did most of the seafood prep and the sauce, the actual roux and the actual sauce. I did all that. So right now, as you can see, in this wonderful pot, we have all the veggies brewing. So as far as the base, I used water, Cajun seasoning, oregano flakes. Actually, I'm gonna just show you all everything I have. So bay leaves, I used about 4. Thyme, I used about 2 teaspoons. Smoked paprika, that's my favorite. I used about 2 tablespoons. Oregano, I used about 2 teaspoons. The Cajun seasoning, I used about 2 tablespoons. Cayenne pepper, just about a half teaspoon. It's really spicy, really hot, so got to be careful with that. Ground red pepper, I used about a teaspoon. And garlic powder, about a tablespoon, because we want to bring in that garlic. And olive oil, about 3 tablespoons. So I put all that in the water, and then also 6 bouillon chicken cubes in the water. So I put that in first, let it boil, let it dissolve. Then I add all my seasonings, and then we did all the guys. Oh, it's foggy from the heat. So we cut all the veggies. So let's talk about the veggies we cut. What veggies did we cut, Mom?
We had squash, okra, celery, corn on the cob. We sliced it off.
And I took care of the tomatoes. And then what else did I cut? I cut one more thing. The garlic. So we used about 4 cloves of garlic in the actual stock. And then we used about 3 cloves of garlic in the seafood stock. So as far as the seafood stock, I took water and about 3 cloves of chopped garlic. And we did chop garlic for both the veggie stock and the seafood stock. So about 3 cloves of chopped garlic in the seafood stock. And I added 8 ounces of cod, and I cut that into cubes. About 10 jumbo shrimp. I sliced them in half and deshelled them and detailed them. And then, of course, the scallops, we used about 2 cups of scallops. So all that's in the seafood stock there. Okay, and we brought that to a boil. Just enough so that it's tender. We didn't want them too overcooked, because we don't want our seafood too mushy. And my mom does not like
Mushy fish.
So we made sure of that. All right, so now we're gonna marry the seafood into the veggie stock shortly. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, okay? Oh, by the way, you want your veggie stock to boil, but it's about a 45-minute process to get the veggies to boil and become tender. As far as the seafood stock, you want to let that boil and then bring down the heat so it doesn't overcook, and then bring it off the heat and let it just sit. So now basically it's just maintaining its temperature. So we're going to marry the seafood stock into the veggie stock. We're not going to bring all the juices from the seafood stock. We're going to bring some, so some of that seafood flavor can marry with the veggie stock. But we're going to do that in 5 minutes, and we'll be right back. So here's a side note. Basically, while we're waiting to marry the seafood stock and the veggie stock, you have to prepare your roux, okay? Because the roux gives it a little bit of thickness and brings that brown kind of gravy, light gravy look to the gumbo. So what we did was I took about a cup of flour and spread it evenly across the baking sheet, and it's been actually baking for about an hour now. You want to constantly check it so it doesn't burn, and then keep stirring it, and you want to get it to from white flour to a peanut butter color. And once it's peanut butter color, take it out of the oven. Okay, and then we're going to take that about a half cup and put it in a jar, and then we're going to add water to it slowly, and then we'll cap the jar and shake it really good and create that roux. And then that roux, you will see later, will go in at the same time we marry the seafood and the veggie stock. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, I mentioned the roux, so we took about a cup of the roux, the flour, the brown flour. You want to make sure, as I mentioned, that the flour turns a peanut butter color. So put about 3/4 of a cup in a jar, and then slowly, as you turn the jar, fill it with warm water. And as it's filling, turn it, swish it, okay? Stir it in a circular motion like this here, okay? And that should yield you about close to a cup and a half, 2 cups of roux, okay? So now we're gonna take it and we're gonna add it to our veggie stock. There's the veggie stock. Those are our veggies, and we're gonna slowly add the roux. And as you add the roux, you want to stir it, okay?
Is it still good?
Raise it up just a little bit higher. Good. So we're stirring that roux in slowly. Slowly, and as you see, the color is changing to a nice brown, okay? Once all that roux is there, okay, we got all that roux in, we're gonna stir it and just keep stirring it, okay? Now, the next step is to marry our seafood, okay? So, the seafood, okay, good, the seafood, add that right to our veggie stock and roux stock, okay? So I'm gonna slowly just fish for the scallops, shrimp, and cod, and just add that in pieces.
In the calendar. In the colander.
Good, just like that. Okay. I'm using a serrated spoon. You could actually add all this to a colander, but what I want to do is capture some of the juices as well. So that's the principle to why I'm using a spoon.
Is that good?
It's actually not a serrated spoon. Correction, it's a regular spoon, okay? Good. Raise it up a little bit. Right there. Okay. So we're going to get all the fish in there.
Is that good?
Right there. Good.
Okay.
Okay. You know, I love my cameraman. My cameraman is my mom. But you know, sometimes, you know, you're mesmerized by this beauty, so you kind of lose your aim on the camera. But hey, listen.
Is it good now?
We come back. There we go. We're back again. So I got most of the seafood from the seafood stock. Okay, I got a few more scoops. I'm gonna let it simmer until all the flavors marry. And I would say another 20 minutes, we'll have the finished product. And then we can come back and do the moment of truth. It's a lengthy process, guys, but trust me, once it's done, it is just the most flavorful, beautiful stew that you ever want to consume, okay? There we are right there. There's all the seafood in there, the roux, the veggie stock, and all the veggies now brewing together, marrying together, and we'll come back in about 20 minutes and we'll do the moment of truth. So the moment of truth, we actually combine all these beautiful flavors together.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you.
She stole my line.
Oh, good.
For more information about this recipe, contact us at ericcooperfitness.com.